This is the eyeshadow I initially did following a different tutorial using the wrong brushes and not enough eyeshadow colors. Like there wasn't a transition color. So I'm going to show you the difference. I need those 4 brushes back there. You need a palette that has several different color nudes. I have 3 palettes of different nude colors, but I chose the one that makes my eyes look more blue because it's more of an orange-y kind of brown, like a gold color. Really brightens the blue in my eyes, which you'll see. The one that I had previously used was more of a neutral, and I do like those colors a lot too. These are both crease brushes. That's a bigger one, and the other one is smaller. We're going to start with the bigger crease brush on the transition shade, which would be like your middle shade. There's like a really light shade, and usually a glittery, shiny shade, a medium shade, and a dark. So I went with the one, there was the same color, one was shiny and one was not so shiny. And I'm pale, so my transition shade is going to be lighter. So you just go back and forth over your crease. You hold it straight out from your crease and press into it and go back and forth. My eyebrows are really high, so I go a little bit, take it a little bit above my crease to fill in that gap between my eyelid and my eyebrow. And at the end, once you get it in your crease, you're going to brush it out. Yes, on the outside of your eye, kind of flicking the brush in smaller strokes. This will make our wing more defined later. Then you take the darker shade and the smaller crease brush and you press straight into your eyelid. I do circular motions on the outside corner, circling in towards my eye, and then take it back and forth across my crease. Sometimes I do circular motions as I move across my crease, depending on how wide I want. But it's, as you can see, the brush makes the eyeshadow just fade smoothly. It's really nice. If you don't have your correct brush. Yes, Clara. Rara's outside. If you don't have the correct brush, it will look funky like my other eye. I didn't have that when I did that one. I'm just taking the wider brush over it to kind of blend it a little bit better on the outside where the wing effect will be. Yeah. You don't like that? Claire's eating lunch. It's good. So I know that was like a lot of shadow on the outside, but we'll take care of it in a second. Now we're going to take our eyeshadow primer. Eyeshadow primer is super important. I had it on before I started any of the eyeshadows. So do not forget to put all your primers on. Your primer on your eyes and your primer on your face. But I just put it on the lid so I would have something for my glitter to stick to. If you have a glitter primer, you may want to specifically use the glitter primer, but I don't have any. Mine's a pressed. If you have a shimmer or a glitter press powder for your eyeshadow, you put on your brush and spray it with a little setting powder. It makes it more shimmery and more dense on your eye. which this one is a little more white of a silver. But that's what I got. All my glitters are at the studio. So I took this darker, it's like a brown looking glitter on my palette, put on the outside. Usually with your loose powders, you'll be able to see your shadow a little bit through, so it'll blend a little better. You want to add a little of your dark shadow on the outside to make that gradient effect. You can. I just took my smudge brush. It's my short, wide smudger brush, and tapped it. You want to tap your glitter, because if you brush your glitter, it's just going to get fallout everywhere, and brush it off your eye. So make sure you tap. And there it is. Yeah. You can take your darker color, which I'm not happy with the color payoff with my darker brown. I'll fix that a little bit later. But that'll kind of makes the line less harsh. You go over it just a little bit with your crease brush. This is my favorite part. I put a little bit of concealer on the outside of my eye, a little bit below the corner, and I take my concealer brush and tap, pat, 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 from the underside of my eye and out, kind of like maybe a little bit less than 45-degree angle, maybe more like a 35-degree angle. It helps you create that straight line and gives you something to go by when you do your wing eyeliner. That cleans it up very nicely. Now you can see what we were doing. Over there on my other eye, it didn't work out so well because I didn't have that crease brush that made it more of a gradual line. And we didn't do the transition shade, which you can see helps a lot. And I did that brighter orangey color so you can see it. The difference it makes. Now, whenever you do this wing eyeshadow, which is hard for me to do, I'm doing my bad eye. Don't know why I chose this eye. But you don't want to raise your eyebrows. And I can't close my eyes without raising my eyebrows a little bit. And you want to keep your eye looking straight forward as much as possible when you bring that top line in. You start on the outside and you take the bottom line to the corner of your eye. Then you go back to the outside where you started and bring the top line and draw that line to the top of your, like the middle of your eyelashes, where the round is the highest peak. And then you fill in that hole that you leave. And then just a small line on the inner side of your eye along your lash line. I got a little bit off, so I just tapped some glitter to cover it up. And you can take your pointy eyeliner brush one more time in that point and just bring it in a little bit, and it'll create that really good fine point of, your eyeliner. You see how it curves up more than the other side? The other side I made more of a flat angle, and I think it makes my eyes more lifted. Now this part, I'm not a big fan of eyeliner on the underside of my eyes. So if you do this is my smaller smudge brush, and tap the darker color. I went too far, but it's okay. I'll fix it later. You tap the darker color underneath your eye just a little bit. Just tap it. It doesn't have to be like a straight line. Just tap it under there, and then take your smudge brush and clean it off. You use that transition shade or maybe a little bit lighter of a shade depending on what you think is necessary. I just took my transition shade and colored it in on top of it, and it blended it out and made it a smooth color. Brings out my eye color a lot and opens, look how much it opens up my eye. Yeah, thanks for that self demonstration. Then I cleaned off my brush again and took the glitter shade spray, and I'm putting it underneath the wing to help brighten my eyes a little bit more and draw attention, open them up. And I do a little on the inner corner. Be careful with that glitter. You may just want to do a shinier, lighter shade. Boom. Yes, I'm so not happy with the color under my eye. I'm really not happy with my brown, the dark brown I used for the eyeshadow. I feel like it needs to be darker. Especially if I'm going to be on stage and my eyes, my eyelids are so big that you won't be able to see it in the bright light, my eyeshadow. Now I'm taking this white liner. I'm doing the waterline. You don't have to do that. I just did it to see how much it helped, and it did open my eyes up a little more. You don't have to get white, though. You can use the cream color in your waterline. Now I'm showing you my Mascara Primer. Let me check on Clara. Mascara Primer, especially this one, helps a ton. You got Daisy. She's petting the kitty cat. This is amazing primer. And then I also have the same brand in mascara. Now my eyelashes are probably just normal eyelashes. They're not super long, but they're not very small. And they're not super thick, but they're not thin. So I can build this up to be decent, but I would prefer to wear fake eyelashes. And the eyeliner I did put on my face just then was a eyelash glue liner. So if I had eyelashes with me, I could totally stick eyelashes on that eyeliner without having to use the eyelash glue, which is my favorite. It's amazing, and it holds so well. It's the Kiss liner glue. But this is a good 2 coats plus the primer. And you can see, I can't really see my lashes because I got stage liner on, which is why we like to wear the fake eyelashes. And I got a little bit on my eyelid because my primer really curls my eyelashes up. Nicky booty. But if you wait till your mascara dries, then you try to get it off your eyelid, it is a lot better. So definitely wait to get it off. Don't try to wipe off your mascara off your eyelid while it's still wet. And this is the 3rd coat. That was the 3rd coat of mascara. So if you're going to not wear fake eyelashes, you need to have long, thick lashes already and do 3 coats of mascara. If you have, or your dancer has short eyelashes and they don't like mascara, I would get the lash liner, eyelash glue liner, and use the fake eyelashes. Invest in See, I'm putting base over. That's fine. I'm putting base on after. That helps with the fallout from the eyeshadow. Depending on how cheap your eyeshadow is, the more fallout you will have on your face. Mom, and this eyeliner is horrible. It's not pointy on the end. It's got like a, I don't know, flat marker end. And I couldn't find the point of it. And then when I used the point, it wasn't very dark. Thanks, Clara. She gave me her Care Bear. So it was difficult. It's the NYX. It says something about to the point, or that's the point. It's not very pointy. Anyway, if you get lashes that are cheap, they are going to be heavy and irritating. If you invest in better lashes, nicer, the mink lashes, they're going to be lighter and not feel like, you know, the kids, they'll feel like their eyes are heavy and you're like a little sleepy. I'm sure you've tried eyelashes before, but the mink ones are a lot lighter. The nicer they are, the easier they'll be to wear. And you just trim the outside of the lashes to the size of your eye. I always have to trim like 2 of those bundles of lashes for mine. And you do contour, especially if you're older and you know how to contour. You know those stage lights are going to wash you out. Your face is just going to be white and flat. I'm not the best contour person. I need better contour brushes. That flat one says contour brush, but it's not my favorite. Whenever you do your makeup, it is all about your brushes. Your makeup's only going to look good as the brush that you use. The appropriate brush, I should say. But the angle of my camera is pretty terrible. I don't have a highlighter brush. This palette I'm using is a face palette by Becca, and I got it from TJ Maxx. I never used it before today. When you do blush, you want to keep your face still. The only reason I turn my mouth is because I tend to put my blush too close to my nose, and you want it to be on the outside of your cheeks to lift your cheekbones. So I do that to help with my tendency to put it too close to my mouth. And I'm just blending it out a little better. And that's highlighter right on the tops of my cheeks. And you put highlighter everywhere you want to bring forward, and you put contour everywhere you want to push back. That helps. And there's the eye that I want it to look like. And you can see the difference. That's just... It goes from like a normal eyeshadow, kind of dark for a new normal eyeshadow, to a look that opens your eyes more, especially on stage. See, my eye looks a lot more open. Looks like I have something wrong with me. Smashbox Lipstick. It is the best. It's matte though, so if you like a gloss, they do make a gloss. Claire, I gotta turn your TV off. I'm doing a voiceover. Can I do that? But this Smashbox is called Boss. That's the color. It's red. Red. BAWSE. It is always on cream to matte lipstick. And they also have a gloss that's a cream to matte. But if you like the shiny lips You can use lip sense is awesome too. It just burns, so be careful with the younger children. Which sometimes it doesn't burn. Just depends on your mouth, but it does burn the majority of the time. And this dries and does not come off. It was actually very hard for me to get off. Clara, don't shake that. And if you mess up, you want to have some of your, if you have a Q-tip and your makeup remover, you can fix that easily with a Q-tip. Honey, or concealer. Concealer can also help. All right, I'll fix you some chips. Sorry. Come here. You can't eat in my room. Yeah, you can see the difference. I was very unhappy with the darkness and how thin it was. I couldn't get it to go. This is me fixing it. This is the same color eyeshadow I used on the other eye. It's just darker or just more payoff. Not necessarily darker. They look the same in the palettes. But I was not happy with that. And that's better. Oh my gosh, so much better. It's a little too orange. Too much transition shade, I thought. Okay, Clara, let me fix you these chips. Sorry, guys. Here you go, boo-boo. You gotta come in here. Multitasking. Fixing the underside. This is a lot more stage appropriate. Just was not dark enough. So be careful with your eyeshadow palette. Make sure that you swatch it before you begin, because I should have done that just swatch it on your arm. See how the color comes out, because sometimes it doesn't come out the same color as in your palette. And I like to add a little highlighter under my eyebrow. I have room for that. And there's the difference. Oh, looks so much better with that darker. I just went back over it real fast with the same brushes. Show me your cheek. Wow. Smile. Yep, what's great about that lipstick is it dries, so it doesn't get on your teeth. You want some lipstick? Again, once you put it on. If your lips tend to rub your teeth. I'm about to show you what it looks like in the sun. That's as close as I can get to stage light. It was so bright, though, I couldn't stay there very long. But I hope this helps and helps you remember, because we're going to have a tutorial. I like to have real tutorials. So hopefully you can look back at this video and it will help you remember what we did at the tutorial. Thank you, guys. I hope this helps. Say bye, Clara. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.